Now, I am here to tell you guys the moment has came. Early this morning, Kelsey Mitchell sent shockwaves throughout the WNBA today, and the news has broken ground, dog. Caitlin Clark and Indiana Fever will keep their backcourt for the 2025 season.
Kelsey Mitchell is staying with the Indiana Fever, and the entire WNBA is in shock. Everyone thought she was leaving, with Golden State being the favorite to sign her. Even Candace Parker hinted she was on her way out. But instead of joining a super team, Mitchell chose to stay and build something in Indiana. And here's why this is a game changer. Mitchell isn't just re-signing, she's making a statement. She's teaming up with rookie sensation Caitlin Clark, forming one of the most explosive backcourts in league history. The Fever aren't just trying to stay competitive, they are coming for a championship.
Kelsey Mitchell re-signs with the Indiana Fever. So the best backcourt in the WNBA is back.
Some might ask, why is this such a big deal? Simple, Kelsey Mitchell is an elite scorer. Last season, she put up 19.2 points per game while shooting an efficient 47% from the field. Those aren't just good numbers. They are superstar numbers. But that's not all. Since entering the WNBA in 2018, Mitchell has played in 235 out of a possible 240 games. That kind of durability is rare. She's always available, always producing, and now she's staying in Indiana to take this team to the next level.
What's up, everybody? Kelsey Mitchell here, and I'm a Fever girl again. So to my fans, to the basketball world, I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be back. Indy's been good to me, and hopefully I can pour in and give the same. So here's a bit of Fever girl.
This move isn't just about keeping a star player. It's about the Fever proving they are no longer a team to overlook. For years, Indiana was at the bottom of the standings. People didn't take them seriously. But that's changed. Last season, against all odds, the Fever made the playoffs. No one expected it. No one believed in them. But they fought their way in. Now, with Mitchell, Clark, and Aliyah Boston leading the way, they are not just trying to make the playoffs. They are looking to dominate. Indiana isn't just rebuilding. They are building a future dynasty.
The best backcourt in the WNBA remains intact because Kelsey Mitchell is back, staying with the Indiana Fever and going back-to-back with that backcourt with Caitlin Clark. Of course, Mitchell had been with Indiana her entire career. There was some speculation that she might want to explore other options, but there's no better option for Kelsey than playing along C-squared, as she calls her.
Now, let's talk about this backcourt. Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark together? That's not just exciting, that's straight up scary for the rest of the league. Mitchell is one of the best off-ball scorers in the WNBA. She moves without the ball, finds space, and knocks down shots at an elite level. Pair that with Clark, who's an elite playmaker, and you have a deadly combination. And let's not forget about Aliyah Boston. She's a force in the paint, which means defenses can't just focus on the guards. With this trio, the Fever's offense is going to be nearly unstoppable.
Because Kelsey Mitchell had the most notoriety of her career, the easiest time of her career on the court, and now has a chance to compete for championships with that core alongside Clark and, of course, Aliyah Boston.
The crazy part? The rest of the league still doesn't see it coming. They think the Fever are just a fun, young team. But Indiana isn't here to just compete. They are here to win. Even the Indiana Pacers, the NBA team in the same city, publicly celebrated Mitchell's return. That's huge. It shows the Fever are earning respect, not just in the WNBA, but across the entire basketball world. This isn't the same Indiana team from a few years ago. They are no longer the little sister franchise. They are turning into a legitimate powerhouse.
They're going to win a lot more games. They're going to just wreak havoc throughout this league. And I believe they're going to beat the Las Vegas Aces this season.
So, how will Mitchell and Clark actually play together? The answer, perfectly. Mitchell thrives as an off-ball scorer. She can catch and shoot, cut to the basket, and space the floor. Meanwhile, Clark is a playmaking genius. She can create shots for herself and her teammates in ways that most players can't. Put them together, and you have a backcourt that's going to be nearly impossible to stop. This isn't just a good pairing, it has the potential to be one of the best guard duos in WNBA history.
And the idea Mitchell would want to go anywhere else was always a little odd. It was always a little strange because, again, she became a much bigger star. She shined in the role. Her life was made easier on the court, and she gained so many new fans because of how gifted a bucket getter she is.
Think about it. Kelsey Mitchell can score from anywhere. She's not just a shooter, she's a walking bucket. And then you have Caitlin Clark, who is basically a human highlight reel. Every time she has the ball, something special happens. But it's not just about their individual talent, it's about how they fit together. Mitchell is at her best when she doesn't have to handle the ball too much. Clark, on the other hand, is an elite passer who can set up teammates for easy baskets. They are going to make each other better. And that should terrify the rest of the WNBA.
Right, like the downside to losing Kelsey Mitchell would have been tremendous. And now they've got the new coach in Stephanie White, which was obviously a huge, big deal. And they've got that core. And I know I've said this before and I've been hammering the point home, but that foundation is in place.
Here's where it gets even crazier. Mitchell is already one of the best off-ball scorers in the game. She can run off screens, find open space, and hit shots at an elite level. And then there's Clark, who just averaged 8.2 assists per game in her final season at Iowa. That's not just good, that's historic. She sees passing angles that others don't, and she's going to make sure Mitchell gets more open shots than ever before. The chemistry between these two is going to be something special.
She was there when they got the number 1 pick, and Caitlin Clark, obviously not a good team. The team that gets the number 1 pick in the draft is not a good team. That's a general rule. Something you can take to the bank. And then all of a sudden they're in the playoffs.
Now, imagine trying to defend this. If you focus too much on Clark, Mitchell will burn you. If you key in on Mitchell, Clark will find the open teammate. It's like playing a game of whack-a-mole, but instead of moles, you're dealing with two of the best scorers in basketball. And just when you think you've stopped them, Aliyah Boston is there to dominate inside. This isn't just an exciting offense, it's an absolute nightmare for defenses.
At the same time, this is a situation that allows someone to be destined to thrive. Destined to thrive. You get to play a once-in-a-lifetime player in Caitlin Clark, who brings once-in-a-lifetime attention. An organization that knows what they're doing, where you've been, where you're going to be celebrated.
Some people still don't see the bigger picture. They are looking at Mitchell and Clark individually, but they are missing what makes this duo so special, the way they fit together. Both players love to push the pace. The Fever already play a fast style, and now they've added two players who thrive in transition. That's like adding rocket fuel to a sports car. Last season, Indiana made the playoffs despite having serious weaknesses. Now, they've added Stephanie White as head coach, a defensive mastermind. That means their biggest flaw is being fixed. This team isn't just getting better. They are becoming a title contender.
Now, as for Stephanie White, she's a basketball guru. She comes in, implement a whole new style, and fix the biggest problem on the team, which was defense. They're going to make it a hell of a lot further than what they did last year.
Some might say, okay, they made the playoffs, but so what? Here's what, the Fever aren't just trying to sneak into the postseason anymore. They are trying to change the balance of power in the WNBA.
So there you have it. Kelsey Mitchell back with the Indiana Fever. Really exciting news for fans of the team, because I think that was the only thing that was needed to make free agency a success, if you will. Not a smashing success as of yet, because they still have to upgrade the rest of the roster, but that was the move that needed to happen. That was the move that they needed to solidify for it not to be a failure.